While Russia has declared war on world order, the United Nations has declared war on Israel. The UN's top human rights body is called the Human Rights Council. President Trump and President Bush shunned it. President Biden and President Obama embraced it. So starting Monday, with greetings from Secretary Blinken himself, the United States will take its place beside Russia and other Council human rights authorities, China, Cuba, Libya, Somalia, and Venezuela. Now, Biden's move legitimizes the Council and the Israel bashing that takes center stage. Trashing Israel is at the core of UN human rights practice. The Council has adopted nearly 3 times as many resolutions condemning Israel than any other state on earth. The last time Russia invaded Ukraine, the Council couldn't adopt a single resolution with the word Russia in it. To get the full picture, consider the UN's $63 billion a year operation coddled in New York City. There are 193 UN member states in total. Less than half are fully free democracies. At the UN Human Rights Council, full democracies are outnumbered 2 to 1, and Islamic states hold the balance of power. The results are grade school math. An American vote in the General Assembly counts for 0.5%. Yet, you, the American taxpayer, pay almost 25% of the whole UN bill, $12 billion a year. In short, the UN takes our money and democratic credentials and turns them against Israel. Now buckle up. The Human Rights Council has launched the most hostile and dangerous anti-Israel operation in its history, labeled a Commission of Inquiry. Though no Western democracy voted for the inquiry, the General Assembly voted to fund it in December. This inquiry has 4 goals. Number 1, declare the Jewish state to be a racist state and guilty of apartheid. Number 2, prosecute Israelis for crimes against humanity and war crimes from the top government and military officials on down. 3, mount a global campaign to pressure states and businesses to devastate Israel's economy through boycotts, divestment, and sanctions. And 4, launch an arms embargo against Israel, lest it seek to defend itself again. This scheme is a moral, legal, and political outrage. The UN has openly stated that the inquiry is unprecedented. A large permanent staff, an in-house legal team, $5 million a year annual budget in perpetuity. The game plan is to turn back the clock to before the founding of modern Israel. For Palestinians, this is Project Do-Over. The inquiry has 3 appointed inquisitors. Each of them violates UN rules, requiring, in theory, impartiality and objectivity. They've already called Israel an apartheid state, claimed it's guilty of ethnic cleansing, demanded an international criminal court prosecution of Israelis, and lobbied for BDS. For Israel, at the UN, it's Alice in Wonderland. Sentence first, verdict afterwards. Now let's remember, Israel is a country where Arabs and Muslims sit on the Supreme Court, serve as ambassadors, volunteer to serve in the defense forces. A Muslim political party is part of Israel's governing coalition. And Arabs have more democratic rights in the Jewish state than in any Arab state. Now let's talk about actual apartheid. In the UN state of Palestine, selling land to Jews is a crime punishable by life imprisonment with hard labor. In what's really apartheid Palestine, the Palestinian Authority has said Jews will be forbidden from living there or defiling it with their filthy feet, in Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas's words. But real life doesn't intrude on UN life. And so this inquiry has set up an anonymous online system to take the names of anyone that anybody thinks is a root cause of the protraction of the conflict or a contributor to repression. Allow me to bring this home. Have you ever written, spoken, used social media, donated funds to defend Israel? Have you ever prayed for the well-being of the Jewish state? Visited the old city of Jerusalem? I'm sorry to tell you, according to the UN, you are a root cause, an oppressor, and your name could find its way onto a UN list of individuals responsible. So we need to ask, are we going to answer this moral abomination with silence? No. Hell no. We must and we can fight back, and here's how. The inquiry has issued a call for submissions, expecting them to pour in from Israel bashers. Let us prove them wrong by making our own submissions. Not because we are going to change the outcome of this kangaroo court, but because we can affect the court of public opinion. We can identify the real root cause of this conflict: anti-Semitism. We can testify to the indigenous connection between the Jewish people and the land of Israel. We can delegitimize the UN's global pogrom by comparing their lies to the truths we told them, what they knew to what they buried. Making a submission is very simple. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to www.submit.global. You'll have two choices. You can add your name to a pre-filled statement and push submit, or you can write your own story in your own words. Here's something, the last thing else that you should know. Appropriators on Capitol Hill are currently negotiating the funding of our government for 2022. The deal could be sealed in the next 10 days. Unless the funds to pay for the UN's inquiry are expressly withheld, you are going to pay for this UN war on Israel. So here's the deal. Submit.global, shout, holler, and roar.